Hello guys, I am Arvind and in this lecture I will discuss string in Python. Let's get started. So a string is a sequence of characters and Python allows either pair of single or double quotes. And triple quotes, this is basically three consecutive single or double quotes can be used to escape special characters. So computers do not deal with characters, they deal with the binary numbers. Even though you may see characters on your screen, internally it is stored and manipulated as a combination of zeros and ones. So this conversion of character to a number is called encoding and the reverse process is called decoding. ASCII and Unicode are some of the popular encoding used, and in Python, a string is a sequence of Unicode characters. And Unicode was introduced to include every character in all languages and bring uniformity in encoding. Now moving on to next topic, and that is how to create a string in Python. So let's open up the Sublime Text and I will show you how we can create a string in Python. So guys, a string in Python can be created by using single quotes, double quotes or even triple quotes. So let's take an example. Here I have created a string in single quotes and I have created a second string that is in double quotes, and it is an example of triple single quotes, and this is the fourth string that is in triple double quotes. So if I run this code, I will get the output like this. So we can say that we can create a string in Python by single quotes, by double quotes, or by triple single quotes, or by triple double quotes. So guys, moving on to next topic, and that is how to access characters in a string. So guys, I have a string Python and that I have assigned to s and I am printing it. So now if I run this code, I will get the output Python. We can access an individual character by using indexing, and we can access a range of characters by using slicing. In string, index start from 0. So suppose if you want to access this y from this string, so you can use indexing. So now we will access this individual character y from this string. So let's use indexing, and here, so the index of p is 0, y is 1, t is 2 and so on. So suppose if we want to access this y, so the index of y is 1. So here I will use 1, and now if I run this code, I will get y here. So trying to access a character out of index range will raise an index error. So as we know that the index of p is 0, y is 1, t is 2, h is 3, o 4 and n is 5. So suppose if I put 6 here and run the code, we will get error because we are trying to access a character that is out of index range. So the index must be an integer. So suppose if you pass 4.5, then it will also give an error. So we can't use float or other types, and this will result into type error. Python also allows negative indexing for its sequences. The index of -1 refers to the last item. So if I run this code, I will get n, okay, and if I put -2, I will get second last element. So guys, let's go ahead and we'll discuss slicing operator. We can access a range of characters in a string by using the slicing operator, and this slicing operator is represented by the colon. Okay, so let me show you the working of this slicing operator. So suppose if we want to access the group of characters from t to n, and it will be done by the slicing operator, and in slicing operator I will pass two indexes, one is here and second one is here. So I am passing 2 and 6 here, and print function will start printing from this index to the this index -1. So it will print from this index, that is 2, to the index 5. So if I run this code, I will get the output THON. So it is printing from T to N. So let's take another example of slicing. So I am making some changes here. So a print function will start printing from the index 0 to this index -1. So it will print from index 0 to index 1. So now if I run this code, I will get py. So p is at index 0 and y is at index 1. So it is printing from index 0 to index 1. So guys, let's go ahead and we'll discuss another example of slicing. So now I'm making some changes here. So the print function will start printing from the index 2 to the end of the string. So as we know that the t is at index 2, so it will print from t2 at the end of the string. So if I run this code, it will print thu. So if I change it to let's say 1 and I run this code, then it will print ython. So moving on to next topic, and that is how to change or delete a string. So guys, in Python, strings are immutable. This means that elements of a string cannot be changed once it has been assigned. Now I am removing these two lines from this file. Now I have a string Python that is assigned to s, and I want to change a character, let's say p, from this string, and I know that the index of p is 0. Now I will try to assign a different character to the index 0. So let's do this. S of 0, so let's say I'm assigning t to it. Okay, so now if I run this code, I will get a type error. Okay, so we can't change the character from the string. So guys, now if I want to delete a particular character from the string, I will use a del statement to do this. So let's try to delete a particular character from this string. So here I am using del statement here, and I am trying to delete a character that is at index 0. Okay, so now if I run this code, I will get a type error. So we cannot delete or remove characters from a string, but deleting the string entirely is possible using the keyword del. So we can delete this string s by using this del keyword. So now if I print this s, it will give an error. Name s is not defined. So guys, now we know that we cannot delete or remove characters from a string, but we can simply reassign different strings to the same name. So let me delete few lines from this file. Okay, so I have a string Python that is assigned to s. So if I run this code, I will get the output Python. Now I'm assigning a different string to this same variable. So now I am assigning Arvind to it, and now if I run this code, I will get Arvind. So we cannot delete or remove characters from a string, but we can simply reassign different string to the same variable. Now moving on to next topic, and that is concatenation operator. So guys, what is concatenation? Concatenation is a process of appending one string to the end of another string, and plus sign is used for string concatenation. Okay, and this is also known as string concatenation operator. So here I am taking an example. I have two string Arvind and Python, that Python is assigned to s1 and Arvind is assigned to s2, and here I am using this string concatenation operator, and if I run this code, I will get the output like this, Python Arvind. So it is not looking good. So here I will add a space in between these two strings. Okay, so let's add this. So now if I run this code, I will get Python space Arvind. Now moving on to next topic, and that is repetition operator. So guys, what is repetition operator? Sometimes we need to repeat the string in the program, and we can do this easily by the repetition operator. And repetition operator is denoted by this asterisk symbol, or we can say the star symbol. And I have a string Python that is assigned to s, and here I have passed a statement in this print function, and here 3 is a number. It is the number of times that we want to repeat our string. So suppose if I run this code, I will get the output like this. So guys, moving on to next topic, and that is iterating through string. So let's go ahead and we'll discuss iterating through string. So guys, we can use for loop to iterate through the string. So let's take an example of for loop. So in this program, for loop is iterating this string Python, and it will print each character from this string. So now if I run this program, I will get this output. So moving on to next topic, and that is string membership test. So guys, what is string membership test? So string membership test is used to check whether a substring exists within a string or not. So if a substring exists within a string, then it will return true, otherwise it will return false. So let's take an example of a string membership test, and we will use in keyword to perform this string membership test. Okay, so now if I run this code, I will get true because n is present in this string. Okay, so let's change it. So suppose if I use a here and run again, then it will give you false because a is not present in this string. So now moving on to next topic, and that is enumerate function. So guys, let's discuss how enumerate function works. So enumerate function returns an enumerate object, and this enumerate object contains index and value of each character in pairs. And this enumerate function is very useful in iteration. So let's take an example of this enumerate function. So I have a string Python that is assigned to s, and in second statement I am printing it, and in the next statement I am using enumerate function, and this enumerate function will return an enumerate object, and if I print this, it will return an enumerate object. So let's comment this statement, and if I run this code now, it will return this string from this print function, and here it is the enumerate object that is printing by this print function. And list function will give you the list of index and their values. So let's run this program, and in this list we are getting index and their values. So let's move on to the next topic, and that is escape sequence. So guys, if we want to print a statement like this, he said what is the plan made. So we can neither use double quotes or single quotes. So this will result into syntax error, as the statement itself contains both single quotes or double quotes. So guys, now if I want to print this statement within single quotes, then it will give an error. So let's comment this statement and uncomment this statement, and now if I run this statement, it will give an error. So it will give invalid syntax error. So now if I want to print this statement within double quotes, then it will also give an error. So let's uncomment this statement. Now I am putting comment to the above statement. So now if I run this code, it will give invalid syntax error. Okay, so one way to get around this problem is to use triple quotes, or alternatively we can use escape sequences. So let's discuss one by one. So now guys, I am using triple quotes in this statement, triple single quotes. Now if I run this code, I will get he said what is the plan made. So now it's working. Now guys, I am putting triple double quotes to this statement. So let's do this. now I am removing comment from this statement, and now if I run this code, I will get he said what is the plan made. So now it's working with triple single quotes or triple double quotes. So now if I want to use escape sequence, then an escape sequence starts with a backslash and is interpreted differently. If we use single quote to represent a string, all the single quotes inside the string must be escaped. Similar is the case with double quotes. So now here is how it can be done to represent the above text. Let me remove this line, and then I am using single quotes in this statement. So here I will put backward slash to use the escape sequence. So now if I run this code, I will get the output he said what is the plan. So it's working. So suppose if I use double quotes in this string, here I will put backward slash, then here I will also put this backward slash. So now if I run this code, I will get the output. So we can use the escape sequence like this. So now moving on to next topic, and that is lower function. So guys, let's discuss the working of lower function. So the lower function in Python is used to convert an uppercase string to the lowercase string. So let's take an example of this lower function. So I have an uppercase string Python that is assigned to s, and in the next statement I am printing it. So now in the next statement I am using this lower function. So that is basically used to convert this uppercase string to the lowercase string, and that lowercase string will be assigned to u, and then we can print it. So if I run this code, I will get the output. So here I am getting the string that is in uppercase, and by this print function I am getting this lowercase string. So let's move on to another topic, and that is upper function. So guys, let's discuss the working of upper function. So upper function in Python is used to convert a lowercase string to an uppercase string. So let's take an example of this upper function. So I have a string that is in lowercase, and I have assigned this lowercase string to s, and in the next statement I am printing it. And here in this statement I am using upper function, and this upper function will convert this lowercase string to the uppercase, and then it will be stored to u, and then we can print it. So now if I run this code, I will get the output Python and Python. So here I am getting this Python by this print statement, and this uppercase Python I am getting from this function. So let's move on to the next topic, and that is split method. So guys, let's see the working of this split method. So the split function splits a string into a list, and you can specify the separator, and default separator is any white space. So let's discuss the syntax of this split function. So here str.split, and here it requires two parameters, and that are optional. So first is separator, and second one is max split. So what is separator? As I told you earlier, it is an optional parameter. The string splits at this specified separator. If it is not provided, then any white space is a separator. Moving on to next point, max split. So it is also an optional parameter, and it is a number which tells us to split the string into maximum of provided number of times. If it is not provided, then there is no limit. So let's open up the Sublime Text, and I will show you the working of this split function. So guys, now I am in Sublime Text, and I have a string. Python is a programming language that I have passed in this variable s, and in this next statement I am printing this string, and in the next statement I am using this split function, and this split function splits this string into list. So if I run this code, I will get the output like this. So this is a string and this is a list, and I have not used any parameter, or we can say separator. So by default it is taking space as a separator. Now suppose if we have a string like this, so I am putting comma here, and in a split function I am mentioning comma. So now this split function will split this string by this comma. So now if I run this code, I will get the output like this. So this is first item of this list, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth one. So let's take another example by using a split function. If we have let's say a string like this that is separated by hash, and if we put hash instead of comma, then this split function will split this string by hash symbol. So if I run this code, we will get output like this. Now guys, if I placed max split here after this separator symbol, let's say I am putting 4 here. So when max split is specified, then list will contain the specified number of elements plus 1. So now if I run this code, we will get the list. Python is a programming language, so we have mentioned 4 here, but we are getting 5 parts of this string. So now guys, moving on to next topic, and that is join method. So let's discuss this join function. So the join method takes all items in an iterable and joins them into one string. A string must be specified as the separator. So let's discuss the syntax of this join function. So this is the syntax of this join function. So here we will use iterable, and these are required parameters. Any iterable object where all the returned values are strings. The examples of iterables are list, tuple, string, dictionary, and set. So let's open up the Sublime Text and I will show you the working of this join function. So guys, now I am in Sublime Text and I am using join function here, and as we know that join function takes all items from this list and join them into a string, and all these words are separated by this space. So now if I run this code, I will get the output. This will join all words into a string. So moving on to next topic, and that is find method. So guys, let's discuss the find method. So if substring exists inside the string, it returns the index of first occurrence of the substring. If substring doesn't exist inside the string, it returns -1. So now let's discuss the syntax of this find function. So here it requires 3 parameters. 2 are optional, start and end are optional, and value is required. So the meaning of value is the value to search for, and to start, where to start the search, default is 0, and about end, where to end the search, default is to the end of the string. Okay, so let's open up the Sublime Text and I will show you the working of this find function. So guys, I have a string hello world that is assigned to S, and here I am finding a character E from this string. So as we know that if this E character exists inside this string, then it will return the index of this character, otherwise it will return -1. So if I run this code, I will get 1 because E is present at the index 1. So let's pass the value of x here, and if I run this code I will get -1 because x is not present in this string. Now moving on to next topic, and that is replace method. So guys, let's discuss the replace method. So the replace is an inbuilt function in Python programming that returns a copy of the string where all occurrences of a substring is replaced with the another substring. Now moving on to the syntax of this replace method. So replace method needs three parameters: old, new and count. So let's discuss one by one. So old substring that you want to replace, so that is the meaning of old, and the new substring which would replace the old substring. And now count, it is basically an optional parameter, and its meaning is the number of times you want to replace the old substring with new substring. So let's open up the Sublime Text and I will show you the working of this replace function. So guys, I have a string happy new year two times, that is assigned to s, and now I am replacing happy to the great. Okay, so now if I run this code, it will give you the output like this. So it will give you great new year, great new year. So let's add third parameter, that is count, in this replace function. So if I add 1 here, so and run this code, it will give you great new year and happy new year. It means it is actually replacing just one time here. So that's why it is giving great new year and happy new year. Just in case you liked it, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching this video.